To reach the stage of operations of the AA midway station, we need to first advance into the condition of radiosonic synesthesia, synchronic integration of our mental field with the natural order. This is done by means of the reorganizing mental systems of cosmic history that lead us into the hyperorganic radial perceptions of higher telepathic nature and its intrinsically communicative mathematical structures. Established at this level of coordinated non-dualistic reality, we may then approach the holonomic field level of operation. Here, we enter the pure supermental holographic experience. This is where we will find the AA midway station. The AA midway station is also referred to as the mothership, and can materialize into a 3D structure to accommodate 3D interactions whenever necessary. Once a 3D entity enters into the AA midway station time-space field, then it starts to participate and experience itself as a hologram rather than a substantial body. As we enter this unique holographic time-space, the question we must repeatedly ask is, how many systems are required to organize the universe? And what is the relation between the central stellar radion and the Al-Bayt ul-Mamur of traditional Islamic theology? According to this tradition, the Al-Bayt ul-Mamur is the house of Allah, located above the seventh heaven. This is where Muhammad went on his night flight across the universe, into the light universe beyond the seventh heaven, the universe that is projected to this universe. The Al-Bayt ul-Mamur is in interdimensional alignment directly above the Kaaba. It is said that with the primordial house, 70,000 angels circumambulate every 7 days. Here is the prototype of the cube, the mother of the book, the master record, and so forth. It is this master information core that connects the Al-Bayt ul-Mamur with the central stellar radion, which projects the AA midway station. There are 3 books or master records contained within the Al-Bayt ul-Mamur. 1. Book of Nature, which contains all codes of nature and provides answers to questions like how many codes it takes to organize the universe. 2. Book of Revealed Nation, which on this planet the Quran is the supreme example, though by no means the sole example. Like all sacred texts, it is a coded text. All codes are a sacred language, and all sacred language is coded script. 3. Book of the Higher Mental Nature. This is where the law of time synchronotron and books of numbers are kept. The fundamental underlying mathematical codes of the Book of Revealed Nature and the Book of Nature are derived from the Book of the Higher Mental Nature, or the Book of the Supermind. The Book of the Higher Mental Nature is unfolded through the central stellar radion. This means that the Book of Nature is also organized by the Book of the Higher Mental Nature. The system of the synchronotron and 441 matrix codes are derived from the Book of the Higher Mental Nature. Having considered the organizational codes governing reality, phenomenal, and spiritual, we must ask again, how many codes does it take to organize the universe? First, there is the code of the periodic table of elements that covers the atomic, chemical, and molecular structures. These are codes organized mathematically. There are 7 levels of periodicity and 32 groupings. The crystal structure of 32 and 7 power of creation, organize all elements. All elements combine into atomic molecular structures, the nucleus, electron orbital fields, etc., to create different types of crystal structures, like the proton crystals, that can be geometrically mapped and plotted out. If you look at the structure of the fifth element, boron, a rare gassy metal, you see it is shaped like an hexagon cube with the Star of David in the center. When we see the electron and proton nucleus at the center of the element number 5, we are looking at the structure of an exquisite and profoundly sacred geometrical mathematical organization of reality. However, when you read the modern scientific description of boron, it says it is an element of group 13 with the lowest atomic number. Boron is starting to become more important, and its commercial samples increase as the nuclear industry develops. It creates a transparent crystalline solid that is very hard, and then can be used to make bulletproof vests. Just imagine a beautiful structure like this used for bulletproof vests. A holographic projection booth is situated in the AA midway station that contains the different structures of atoms and their various permutations. This is something like a super kaleidoscope of ever-changing geometrical patterns. Every projection, from the CSR to the galactic brain and to the AA midway station, is derived from principles of radiative geometry. In the third dimension, the two fundamental levels of the universe we are most familiar with are DNA and the periodic table of elements. The structure of DNA and all the elements first exist as mental geometries that are projected from the higher mind or brain. These structures appear in the third dimensional plane of reality as organizing factors of atoms and molecules that create different chemical elements and structures, constituting what we refer to as reality. All elements of a star or galaxy can be found in the periodic table of elements. All forms of carbon-based life can be found in DNA. Other systems of DNA can be found in other types of life forms that follow the same underlying mathematical principles. The periodic table of elements contains 112 elements, 28 times 4. Some say there are 120 elements. Of course, there are other elements that are not contained within this table, and there is a micro-world beyond what we experience at the atomic molecular level. As we evolve hyperorganically, we may discover that there are as many as 152 possibilities, 19 times 8. Pondering cosmic science. Where did the elements come from? Where did DNA come from? When we contemplate this level, then we begin to see the recapitulative cosmology of cosmic science as it is reflected in the system of the AA midway station. As described in the second volume of Cosmic History Chronicles, creation begins with the rang, the primal vibrational disassociation from 1 to 2. This disassociation is produced by a simultaneous and collateral surge of two inharmonic fields of force. Because of the violent interaction of the two force fields, the propulsion waves intersect to create Cessna points, minute condensations of ether that give rise to electricity. The Cessna points break into two groupings, the spherical carpins and the cubical carpins. The combination of the two create megacarpins. From the megacarpins arise the myriads. Myriads are sub-microscopic arrangements of megacarpins that initiate polarity. There are three types of myriads: neutral, positive, and negative. The different combinations of myriads create partons. Various partons in combination create the electronic lines of force. The electronic lines of force coalesce to create the primary soul atom, quantinomio sitiobarico, which is organized as a three-part topocosm: electromagnetic, gravitational, and biopsychic fields. Each one of these three interactive fields has 12 compressors. From these 12 compressors, the soul atom generates Kuon rays and cyclo-Kuon energy that creates the first types of stellar formations, quantars and quasars. These highly pulsing radial forms organize themselves to create galaxies, stars, and planets. The important point is that the electroplasmic hyperparton structure precedes the atomic genetic level as defined by cosmic science. The interactive components of this structure gives rise to the soul atom, the prime galactic cosmic generator. Again, there are 6 types of cosmic electricity, 12 electronic lines of force, and 7 radial plasmas. From these structures are generated the electrical impulses to create first the soul atom, and then the primary atom, the hydrogen atom, which has 1 electron, 1 proton, and 1 neutron. The proton and neutron are at the nucleus and the electron orbits around it. Atoms operate by the same holonomic principle as planets going around stars and stars going around galactic centers. In the beginning, when form and structure first manifest, there is the soul atom that exists at the center of every galaxy, containing the essence of all universe programs. Eventually, by means of holonomic consistency and the inherent power of projective self-generation, the soul atom reaches the level of the created intelligent being, the human type, the element of universal being or matter that processes mind and capacitates intelligence. The human body is a physical vehicle of organization that holds the brain, the neural transmitter-receiver of the thinking layers of the universe. The brain also contains the 6+1 mental spheres. This system of the mental spheres is further organized by the 7 chakras that enliven the physical and astral bodies. The chakras are energy generators that take the same form as the soul atom, the quantinomio sitiobarico. All of this information is correlated in the AA midway station according to different information fields and structures. These information fields are coordinated by a particular aspect of the alpha-alpha, alpha-beta, beta-beta, or beta-alpha hyperplasmas. The 4 hyperplasmas inform the 4-fold system of the AA midway station, which is a microgalactic brain. The galactic brain also consists of a 4-fold division: instinctual, telepathic, preconscious, and conscious. This is also the organizational structure of the Telectonon interplanetary 4th-dimensional field map, which its projection system of the 260-unit 1320 grid system that corresponds to the synchronic order template of the 441 matrix. The CSR is the projection booth that creates the galactic brain at the center of the galaxy. This galactic brain is projected through the etheric 1320 synchronization matrix, which in turn projects to the AA midway station, the microgalactic brain.